Bulls fans, welcome into the Around the Horns podcast. It's your boy, Trysten and Mario back. Mario, where are we this week?
We are back in the home of the Around the Horns podcast, the Gutter House.
Gutter House, can't wait to be coming at you, and a great guest joining us. Period one time here, bringing the Queen Bee, Queen Billet mom, Carrie, joining us on the show. Carrie Archuleta, longtime Bulls fan and Billet mom extraordinaire. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Carrie, I'm going to start and ask you, what's it like being a Billet mom for the coolest Bulls in town?
It's a great experience. The team is great. The coaches are great. It's just a fun time.
Fun time, and it's even more fun when you're hosting a couple of Bulls that are on some hot streaks right now.
Yes.
And it's got to feel like a little bit of energy at home right now with the guys.
It does. I'm very proud of the boys that we have in our home this year. I get to brag because they're pretty awesome. So it's great.
Yeah, really excited, and we're going to chat with the boys that you get to billet this year. A little bit later, period 2 and period 3, we're going to chat with both guys living at your place this year. First, I got to ask you about Bulls hockey. We're 2 series into the season, or 3 series now, and all winning series. It's got to feel pretty good as a fan, if nothing else.
Yes, it's been great. It's fun to watch them in person. It's very exciting to watch them on hockey TV, which we do. It's a good time. We're very proud.
So now, Carrie, you've been a Billet mom really since the beginning.
Yes.
From season 1.
Yes.
What changes having different guys living with you? I mean, can you, from season to season, from player to player, what is different?
Their personalities are all different. I've been very fortunate. I have had excellent hockey players, and the players that I have had live in my house have all been amazing people on and off the ice. So I'm very fortunate. I feel like they add to our family. We get to learn about sometimes different cultures, different states, different families than our own. So.
You know, you have your own kids at home.
Yes.
And so you're integrating that. And for a lot of the viewers and the followers of the Around the Horns podcast, we talk about the opportunity to billet and talk a little bit how the players have integrated into the family and what that's like for you guys.
It's always interesting when you bring new people that are basically strangers into your home. It's nice to watch them get to know the kids in a shy, kind of quiet sort of way. Having dinner together and watching movies, and they support my children, and in turn my children try to support them as much as they can. So they really all become part of our family.
And it's got to feel exciting, too, knowing that you're playing a part in what the Bulls coaches and GMs and owner all talk about is maybe the most important aspect of the Bulls as an organization, and that's taking young boys and men and turning them into great assets to society. You have maybe the most integral part of that being the billet parent. Like, you're making sure they're on the straight and narrow. How good does that feel?
It's really great. I feel like that as a billet, it's my job to make sure that they have a safe and supportive place to rest at night. I make sure that they're fed because that's what I do. And I don't try to be their mom, but I do try to be a supportive and nurturing presence. Hopefully that translates to their performance on the ice.
And that's where I'm going to ask you next, because obviously whatever you're doing with the 2 guys coming on later in the show is working. We got one of them coming up. I'm not going to give names and spoil too much before we get you a preview, but second on the team in points, and it's got to feel good knowing that's living downstairs from you.
Yes, it does. I'm very proud of both of my boys. It's just so fun to watch them on the ice, and I've been able to watch them enough now that when I see them skating, I can tell even before I see their numbers, hey, that's my boy. It's a great feeling. I'm so proud of them.
And what about the difference between the 2? Because obviously we'll introduce them to Bulls fans here in just a few moments, but when you get to see them off of the ice and you get to see how they are personally and what they talk about, their game, what are the differences and the similarities?
There's not a lot of differences between them. They're very similar boys. Very indecisive. They're very very kind. They're very easygoing, very laid back. They're just, I mean.
And they're damn good hockey players.
They
I'm just going to say it, and we
That's
can't
right.
wait
They
for you to
are.
meet them in just a few moments. Bulls fans, the suspense is over. We got 2 studs coming up in period 2 and period 3. Brendan Dicker, Braedon, Lacomy. You don't want to miss it, Bulls fans. Get to know 2 of the newest. But period 1 time, I got to wrap up with a question. If you have advice for future billets, potential billets, people looking to get involved and make their mark on a Pueblo Bull while they have the chance, what do you have to say?
I would say go for it. I don't think it's something that you would ever regret. It makes you part of an amazing organization, and you get to know some really, really cool people.
And you get to hang out at the Gutter House while we record the Around the Horns podcast, Bulls fans. Little crowd out here in person, little crowd watching at home. You got to be here every Tuesday night, 6:30. We're kicking things off, hanging out all night. You get 10% off your drinks. You get the best food in town right here at Gutter House. And you get to hang out with us and maybe meet billet mom extraordinaire. Carrie, thanks so much for chatting with us on the podcast
Thanks
tonight.
for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Bulls fans. Don't go anywhere. Period 2 and period 3. We're going to introduce you to 2 of Pueblo's newest studs. You don't want to miss it on the official podcast of the Pueblo Bulls, the Around the Horns podcast. Bulls fans, welcome back to the Around the Horns podcast. It's your boys Mario and Trysten coming to you from Gutter House, the official home of the Around the Horns podcast. Very excited to be joined in period 2 here. Brendan Dicker, new to the Bulls, but not new to the limelight, and you're making your presence very well felt. Thanks for joining us on the podcast this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Brendan, I got to ask you, first season in Pueblo, making quite the impression. Already 9 games into the season, and you guys look good. How are things feeling on the ice for you this year?
It feels great to be out there. You know, we're just getting started, so we're finding that team chemistry, but it's been going good so far, so can't complain.
Yeah, things have been going well. You guys are winning a lot of series and playing well personally. How are things feeling? Do you feel like you've adjusted to Colorado, into the Bulls, the team, the chemistry you guys have all been putting together here?
Yeah, for sure. It's been pretty quick, you know. I mean, I'm from Michigan, so the elevation's kind of pretty crazy, but it's been good to adapt, and it's been pretty good, so yeah.
So you guys are coming off a road series in Utah, a hard-fought one. You guys ended up dropping 2 over the weekend, but still in second place in the division there. So coming back home, what do we have to look forward to from not just your personal play, but from the team for the Pueblo fans that are going to be out and
Yeah,
about?
just from this past weekend, I mean, we played 2 of the other top teams in the division, and, you know, people say that those were the teams that beat, and we stuck with them, and we got a win out of it, and we know we can beat them, so it'll be pretty good, and I think we'll do good against them all year long.
And you're coming back home. I got to ask you, just a couple of weeks ago, you got to play in front of a sold-out crowd there. The barn in Pueblo gets rocking, and finally you got to experience that. First of all, tell me how that experience was and how exciting you've got to be coming back to play in front of the Pueblo Bulls crowd.
Oh, it's awesome. It's a great feeling, you know. The crowd does so much for you. It gives you that extra notch to, you know, push and keep on going, so it's great to have them.
And how are these fans compared to other fans you've played for in the past? I know Michigan, big hockey town, but Pueblo's kind of putting themselves on the map. You already got a crowd out here listening to people talk about hockey. Obviously, they've bought into the Pueblo Bulls.
Yeah. No, it's great. I've never played in front of this big of a crowd consistently, so it definitely helps you more than people think.
So tonight's theme, we had your billet mom, Carrie Archuleta, on earlier. And so one of the things that we always want to find out is not just how you're acclimating to Pueblo on the living and playing side, but I know Carrie has probably introduced you to some great Pueblo restaurants. Do you have a favorite yet?
I haven't been to much yet, but you know, I'm still figuring it out. I can't say I have a favorite, so I'm still trying some new places, but I've loved everything I've had so far. So.
All right.
He told us before we got on the microphones that Gutter House was his favorite place to eat, and so I'm going to hold you to that because when they're the official home with the Around the Horns podcast, you eat here if you're here every Tuesday night. But on the topic of eating, you've been doing plenty on the ice, and the guys have been really cementing themselves. You've got different lines going out there. It seems like night after night, finding that chemistry. Have there been guys that you find easier to mold with, or guys that have kind of taken you in and made it easier easier for you to make your mark out on the ice?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you coming in a little late, you kind of get thrown in the swing of things, but I've been on a good line, and the chemistry's been there right from the start, so it's been good.
And talk about Braedon. We're going to have him on the show in just a few minutes. You got to live with the guy, but also, is there some friendly competition there every night, checking the stat sheet?
A little bit, I mean, we're both centers, so there's a little competition there, but at the end of the day, it's a nice, friendly little match, and we want the best for each other and the team, so. Yeah.
So now, this past weekend, we saw quite an increase in penalty minutes. It's been kind of holding you guys back from getting that number one spot, right? Mm-hmm. What are you guys doing to kind of remedy that for this weekend?
I mean, just find the discipline, I mean, it's good that we're learning this early in the season rather than late so we can figure it out and fix it. But, the guys know that, especially some of our younger guys, they're not used to it. So once they figure it out, they get better with it, and we're getting better with it. So, yeah.
Get rolling, and we got one more chance to check out the Pueblo Bulls this weekend. Brendan Dicker going to be making his mark, already leaving his imprint here on the Around the Horns podcast. Brendan, I got to thank you. I wish you the best of luck this weekend. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks to the Bulls fans that are here tonight at Gutter House. We already gave away some free tickets to this weekend's games, and you're missing out if you're not here. Every Tuesday, 6 o'clock, we're going to kick things off. You got discounts on beer, food, drinks. You got live music going on, and we got the official podcast of the Pueblo Bulls bringing up a big Period 3 guest. You don't want to miss it. Braedon Lacomy coming right at you, Bulls fans, on the Around the Horns podcast. Bulls fans, welcome back to the Around the Horns podcast, Period 3 time, and we already told you were in for a treat, bringing in Pueblo's newest stud, Braedon Lacomy. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Pueblo. How are you tonight?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Very excited to have you on the podcast. You have burst onto the scene, and burst is putting it nicely. You're second on the team in points. You're maybe the hottest on the team after this weekend's series. How have things started for you, and how did you click so quickly into Pueblo's plans here?
Yeah, I don't know. The team has just been great in bringing me in. Everything's been good. Everyone's been so welcoming. So I think it was really easy for me to find my stride here and just kind of get going, get to know everyone, and just kind of meld and create chemistry with the boys.
And for Bulls fans that may not be familiar with us, tell us how you came to Pueblo, where you played before, where you're from, and how you're liking Pueblo so far.
Yeah, so I'm from Chanhassen, Minnesota. Last year I was playing up in Dauphin, Manitoba in the MJHL. So I started the year this year up there, played 2 games up there. Kind of didn't really, I guess you could say, agree with the coach. I got put on trade wires, and through the summer, Tyler was talking to me, and then he found out about that, so he reached out to me, said, "We'd still love to have you." I thought it would be a great fit for me, and I just haven't looked back. It's been probably one of the best decisions.
And who says no to tunes? I don't think that's a face you can ever turn down.
Can't say
the
no.
Puppy dog eyes?
Oh, yeah.
I thought so. So now, over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday, I know for me personally, I was doing the PA call during the game, and I said your name an awful lot. Now, Trysten touched upon it. You're up to 10 points on the season. That's better than almost 1.5 points per game, right? Is that something you personally brought into? Are you looking to be a points leader on the team? Do you have any personal goals that you're bringing with you to the Bulls?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, first comes first. I want to make sure I'm doing everything that I possibly can to make sure the team wins. But with that, I think with my game, that if I'm playing well, I'm putting up points for the team, scoring goals, getting assists. I think if I continue to do that, the team will be successful because of that. So.
And what's it like flying around on that first line with guys like Benny and Justin? You got Connor and Big Mac behind you, and it almost seems like an all-star lineup that you could go out there and take on really any unit in the league right now. How good does that feel, being surrounded by that much talent?
Oh, it's awesome. That's one of the main things. I think I've been able to kind of jump in the lineup so easily is just playing with guys like Benny and Juice. Like they're such skilled forwards, and like they're so easy to play with and just create chemistry with them. They're such good playmakers, so I think they just kind of fit my play style perfectly, and just kind of every week we just keep gelling more. So I'm excited to see what we can do this weekend.
So the fit is great on the ice, but we started off the night talking with billet mom, Carrie Archuleta, and it seems like the fit is right there as well. We always ask people new to the team, do your billet parents take you out to Pueblo cuisine? And if so, do you have a favorite yet? Do you have a special place you like to go that's Pueblo-centric?
I think I might have to, same answer as Brendan. I've only been here, I think, 2 weeks, so I haven't been able to see very many places here. I mean, I'd say probably Gutter House has to be my favorite so far.
All right.
Unprompted. Usually I tell them that if they don't say it, I'm going to fight them in the back, but this one, totally natural. Braedon, I also got to ask you, right? You've had a couple of weeks to play with these guys. Have you set goals for yourself for the season? Do you have a team goal earlier on? A lot of guys were talking about championship or bust. How realistic does that feel after a couple of series?
I think it feels so realistic. I mean, I definitely think we have the pieces in place to do it, and especially just looking at our practices, how we're getting better and better each week. So, I mean, that's my goal coming here. I want to win a championship, so I think we're going to make it happen. So.
And we've let guys off the hook the first couple of weeks, but now it's time to start throwing some names out there, right? You've had a couple of weekends to play with these guys. I got to ask you 2 questions.
Yep.
Fastest on the team and cleanest hands on the ice. Who are you putting yourself with one-on-one?
I think the easy one to start off is cleanest hands on the team would have to be Benny. And then for fastest skater, I think my roommate Dicker might be up there, so.
All right. And on that topic, he said there was a friendly competition. How friendly does that competition really stay between the two of you?
Honestly, it's super friendly. We have a great relationship, and it's been awesome just getting to know him and just kind of, I don't know, just getting a new friend, It's been good, so. Although it is a competition, it's definitely friendly, and I mean, hasn't really got that heated yet. So it's been good. It keeps us both motivated and pushing each other. But at the end of the day, we're good with each other. So.
All right, so we've got another home series coming back. You've seen the Pueblo crowd. You've seen how excited the fans get for you guys. But this weekend, you got a real challenge. You're facing off against the Utah Outliers again, a team that's posed a little bit of a challenge for you guys. From a strategy standpoint, where are you guys going? What are you looking to do to turn the tables on them?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that when they come in this weekend, we'll be ready for them. I think the last 2 losses we've had against them have almost been a fluke. I know watching the games that we're the better team and that we've just had some unlucky bounces both times we played them. And I just think that we'll have a great weekend against them and we'll finally figure out how to get some W's against them in the column. So.
And clearly going to be playing in the best stadium in the league in front of the best fans. I got to ask you one time about it. Obviously, you got a crew out here just cheering you on for the podcast. You know they're going to be out tenfold this weekend. You had a sold-out crowd opening weekend. How much energy does that really bring, and how much are you looking forward to that this weekend again?
It's incredible. Just seeing the community turn out for our games, it's so motivating, and I think it pushes me and also everyone on the team to just do that much better at home. We don't want to let down anyone that comes out to our games, so I think just every time we play in front of our home crowd, it's just even up in a notch. So it's honestly awesome. It's incredible to play in front of. So it's been really cool.
Well, to those Bulls fans that missed him here Tuesday night, you got a chance now to watch him Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Get out to the ice arena. Check out one of Pueblo's newest studs, Braedon Lacomy. Braedon, thanks again for chatting with us on the podcast tonight. Best of luck this weekend to you.
Thank you very much.
And thanks to the Bulls fans that joined us out here at Gutter House. You got to be here every Tuesday between 6 and 9. We're kicking things off. You got drink discounts, food discounts. You got to hang out with us. Chance to get some autographs from your favorite Bulls players. We give away tickets, swag, and all that. You got to be here, Mario, Tuesday nights on the official podcast of the Pueblo Bulls, the Around the Horns podcast.